Essay number 10, Breaking Your Upper Limit and How People Hold Themselves Back from Real Happiness. Here's something that might make you uncomfortable. Most people don't actually want to be happy. That's why they aren't. They just don't realize this is the case. I know that sounds ridiculous. Everyone says they want to be happy. It's literally the most common answer to what do you want in life. But watch what people do, not what they say. Watch how they sabotage every good thing that comes their way. Watch how they find problems where none exist. Watch how they create drama right when things start going well. Human beings are programmed to chase their foremost desire at almost any cost. Think about those stories of mothers lifting cars off their children, or people surviving impossible situations through sheer will. We're capable of superhuman feats when we're truly motivated. The question is, what are we actually motivated by? For most people, it's not happiness. It's comfort. It's familiarity. It's the devil they know over the heaven they don't. There's this concept called the upper limit that psychologist Gay Hendricks talks about. Basically, everyone has a happiness tolerance, a maximum amount of good feeling they can handle before they unconsciously start to sabotage themselves. It's like we all have this internal thermostat for joy, and whenever we exceed our setting, we immediately do something to bring ourselves back down to our comfort zone. Think about your own life for a second. Remember the last time everything was going really well, like suspiciously well? What happened next? Did you pick a fight with your partner? Did you suddenly remember every embarrassing thing you did in middle school? Did you get sick? Did you make a stupid decision that complicated everything? That's your upper limit in action. You literally have a maximum capacity for feeling good, and when you exceed it, your subconscious goes into panic mode and finds a way to bring you back to familiar territory. The really messed up part is that we're programmed to seek what we've known, not what's best for us. So even though we say we want happiness, we're actually trying to recreate whatever emotional state we're most familiar with. If you grew up in chaos, you'll create chaos. If you grew up feeling not quite good enough, you'll find ways to confirm that belief over and over again. Let me tell you about the likability limit, which might be even more insidious. Everyone has a level of success they think is admirable, but not threatening to others. Go beyond that point, and we immediately downplay our achievements, hide our happiness, or straight up sabotage our success. Why? Because most things people do are an attempt to earn love. Think about it. Why do you want that promotion? Sure, money is nice, but deeper down, isn't it about proving you're worthy? That you matter? That you deserve to be loved? The problem is, once we surpass the point where we think people will celebrate us and enter the territory where they might resent us, we cut ourselves off. We'd rather be mediocre and loved than exceptional and potentially rejected. We choose belonging over becoming. Here's another way we hold ourselves back. We think happiness means giving up on achieving more. We've internalized this idea that satisfaction equals stagnation. That if we're happy with what we have, we'll stop growing, stop achieving, stop mattering. But that's completely backwards. The path to a greater life isn't suffering until you achieve something, and then allowing yourself a brief moment of happiness before the cycle starts again. It's letting small pieces of joy and gratitude and meaning build, day by day, creating momentum toward what you want. The real tragedy is that most of us know what we need to do. Deep down, you know exactly what would make your life better. You know what relationship needs to end, what job you need to leave, what conversation you need to have. The suffering isn't in not knowing, it's in the space between knowing and doing. We're addicted to that space. We live there. We set up camp in the gap between truth and action, and then wonder why we're miserable. We hear our instincts loud and clear, we just don't listen. We think we're creating time for things to magically change, but we're really just creating more evidence for why we can't have what we want. Some people have convinced themselves that apathy is safety. They think if they don't care too much about anything, they can't be hurt when they lose it. They preemptively grieve every good thing in their lives, thinking they're protecting themselves from future pain. But here's what they don't understand. Death gives life meaning. Impermanence makes things precious. The fact that we can lose what we have is exactly what makes it sacred. You can choose to cut yourself off from feeling good to buffer against loss and suffer from numbness, or you can have an incredible life and mourn wildly when parts of it end. At least with the second option, there was something worth mourning. Most people have never learned how to practice feeling good. That sounds weird, right? Practice feeling good? But it's essential to raising your upper limit. When something good happens, instead of immediately moving on or finding what's wrong with it, try this. Extend that rush of positive feeling for just a few seconds longer. Sit with it. Let it wash over you. Don't judge it. Don't minimize it. Don't immediately balance it with something negative. Just feel it. This is how you train your nervous system that it's safe to feel good. This is how you slowly raise your happiness thermostat. People think happiness is something that happens to you when circumstances align perfectly. They're waiting for the right job, the right relationship, the right body, the right bank account balance. But some of the statistically happiest countries in the world are nearly impoverished. Some of the most peaceful, joyful people who ever lived died with nothing to their name. What they had was purpose, belonging, and love, things you can choose to cultivate regardless of your circumstances. Happiness isn't a response to what happens to you. It's a choice about how you perceive what happens to you. The woman who says, "I'm just anxious, it's who I am." The man who claims his fears are just his personality. These people have decided that their learned behaviors, their unchecked ego reactions, their warning signals that something needs to change, they've decided these are permanent parts of their identity. But nothing has to be an essential part of you unless you decide it is. Anxiety isn't who you are. Depression isn't your personality. These are signals, patterns, habits, all of which can be changed once you stop using them as an identity and start seeing them as information. Here's perhaps the most tragic belief of all, that suffering makes us worthy, that we haven't truly earned our joy unless we've suffered for it, that good things given freely aren't really ours. This belief keeps us in a constant state of self-created struggle because we think pain is the price of admission to happiness. And then there's our cultural obsession with worry. We think if we worry enough, we can prepare for anything. If we imagine every worst-case scenario, we won't be caught off guard. If we think through every possible criticism, no one can hurt us with their words. But this is like paying interest on a debt you don't owe. You're suffering twice, once in your imagination and once if the thing actually happens. Usually it doesn't even happen. You're just torturing yourself for no reason, thinking you're being prepared when you're really just being paranoid. Happy people get labeled as naive, vulnerable, disconnected from reality. But think about who's doing the labeling. It's people who need to justify their own negativity. It's people who need to believe happiness is impossible so they don't have to feel bad about not choosing it. The truly naive and vulnerable ones are the people who never choose to fully step into their lives. Happy people might lose everything they have, but at least they had something. People who never allow themselves to feel good never have anything at all. Your upper limit isn't fixed. It's not your personality or your nature or just the way you are. It's a learned pattern that can be unlearned, a setting that can be adjusted, a story that can be rewritten. The question is, are you willing to feel good? Not earn it, not deserve it, not achieve it, just feel it. Are you willing to let happiness be a choice rather than a reward? Are you willing to risk being seen as naive, successful, different, or whatever else you're afraid people will think? Because on the other side of your upper limit isn't just more happiness, it's a completely different life. One where joy isn't something you chase, but something you choose. Where good things can simply happen without being immediately balanced by bad. Where you can feel the full spectrum of human emotion without being controlled by any of it. You've been living with an artificial ceiling on your happiness your entire life. Maybe it's time to find out what's above it.